Oh, welcome back everyone. How are we doing after the weekend? Yeah, exactly my thinking as well. 1-1 wasn't the best of results, especially, in my opinion, when we had controlled the game. So personally, just a bit disappointed, but there's a lot of talking points from the weekend. So let's see what we can achieve from talking about that. So let's start with the starting lineup. I think it was in Curve Bar at the time when I found out the lineup, and obviously the main change, the big one, was the dropping of Bielkowski and bringing in Gherkin, which obviously, if you watch my matchday vlog, I wasn't too pleased about. But obviously Paul Hurst had his reasons for dropping Bielkowski. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of Gherkin because he's been at the club for a while now. He's not really done anything. He's not stood out as a number one. He's had numerous opportunities to keep his tenure in goal going, but injuries aside and performances aside, on Sunday he did pretty well and he took his chance given the situation. But do you think that it was more of a Paul Hurst decision to drop Bielkowski to teach him a lesson? Because since coming back from, well, let's say he didn't play with Poland in the World Cup, but let's say from the end of last season coming into this season, Bielkowski hasn't returned with his form. So technically, I feel Hurst is doing it to get a reaction out of him more than just to drop him. So we may see Gherkin for maybe 2 or 3 games, and then Bielkowski will come back in and naturally remain as number one. I don't think there's an argument between the two to say that Gherkin's better than Bielkowski, but in my opinion, and this might be an unpopular one, Bielkowski is weak in areas, and you can see that from the first 5 games he's played. His weakness is set pieces. He cannot win the ball in the air at all. When the ball comes over from the top, it becomes instantly hard for him to collect. I mean, if you played as keeper, you probably understand his dilemmas. But we're playing in the Championship, and we should have a keeper. And I don't think we have had a decent keeper for a long time. But decent keepers are hard to come across, especially in this division. Not many keepers get chances to play, and you do rely on good transfer business to get a decent keeper in. But yeah, my favourite is Bielkowski, even though obviously I've just said he has weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses, but Gherkin for me has had too many chances to improve and impress in front of the fans. So I think his time's come to an end in goal for us. Secondly, let's talk about Jordan Spence coming in at the weekend. I really want to know what people think about Jordan Spence, to be fair, because he was given a platform to play on Sunday. You could argue that he played well, but you could say that he didn't really do anything to improve the squad. Now, I was a bit upset that Donatian was chosen to be dropped on Sunday, given that the last 2 or 3 games he's excelled. He played really well at Derby, played really well at Sheffield Wednesday, and at home to Villa. And to be honest, he was, for me, standout performer at the back. And given Ciala was suspended, I thought the natural thing was to keep Donatian in the squad. Now, he offers a lot more than Spence does going forward, and defensively, he showed more in 5 games than Spence showed in his whole time with the club. So, yeah, I've definitely got an argument there as to why that decision was made. But he could have been saying that, Jordan Spence was to come in so that players like Eden and Chalobah could be included. But in my opinion, Eden was never going to start because he may be a midfielder, but all we've done is use him on the left-hand side. and on Sunday we didn't use him at all. So I'm not saying that Jordan Spence is a scapegoat. I don't like Jordan Spence. It's my only weak link in the squad, to be honest. But given the opportunity to include Donati, and Paul Hurst didn't take the decision, so I'm a bit confused about that, to be honest, and a bit disappointed that we didn't have him in the squad, because he could have brought us a different dynamic going forward as well on the right hand side. So yeah, a bit confused there. Danny Rose scored a hat-trick for the reserves last week, and then scored a brilliant volley last night against I think it was Birmingham under 23s, and someone who's in that form should be given the opportunity to play in the first team. Now, I'm not talking a substitute appearance. I think he's worth giving a first team opportunity that, you know, we'd all like to start. So give him that opportunity to start in the league and give him a platform to play on. Other than that, I think our squad's in a good place at the moment. No injuries, apart from Cole Scouse at the weekend, so he should be alright to go again. So hopefully we're all good. What do you reckon about Penners then? Matthew Pennington coming in from, where did he come from? Everton. We seem to get quite a few loanies from Everton from time to time. I think he was quite an unorthodox centre-back, to be honest. He'd done the job really well. It reminded me a bit of Alex Bruce, weirdly. I know it sounds stupid, but the way he played and the way he distributed the ball, I would say his distribution is not the best, but what he did do on Sunday was keep Norwich at bay. So I'll say that lightly, because obviously we did concede, but I think that's to do more with Paul Hurst's tactics towards the last half an hour of the game. Let's say it like that, to be honest. So given the situation on Sunday, we took the lead. We were playing really, I'd say we were playing out of our skin, and to be honest, we made more chances than we had done in the previous 5-6 games. We're taking the lead. The town was, you know, we were all buzzing. We were all, you know, up for it then. We're going to beat Norwich. Going to get the actual result. Is it actually going to happen? And the minute we scored that goal, we went defensive. We were playing with one up front and everyone else behind the ball. And that, for me, is really frustrating. I don't know if anyone else picked up on that, but it seemed like, yeah, we've been there with Mick McCarthy. I don't like bringing up Mick, but Mick used to do exactly the same thing, the smash and grab result. We didn't need to do a smash and grab result with Norwich. In my opinion, second half we were all over Norwich up until we scored the goal, and then we chose to defend. And if you give Norwich that space, they can continuously batter you. They could have had 3 or 4 goals in the second half. Fortunately, they didn't have their scoring boots on Sunday. And I think we've got to be fair to them in that sense, that they probably did deserve to score goals, but did they deserve to win the game? I don't think they did. They didn't put in the performance that really warranted the result. So, given that result on Sunday, do you think we can push on after the international break? I think we showed what we can do as a squad. The 3 players that we did bring in last week have really helped us going forward. So my opinion would be that when we do play Hull on the 15th, correction from the last video, I said the 16th, it's actually the 15th. When we do play Hull on the 15th away from home, I think we could be seeing our first win of the season. I'm going to remain optimistic. All I can say is that I've seen from the action so far is optimism. There's not really, you can take negatives away from the game, but you know, the pluses actually outweigh the negatives at the moment. So for me, I think we're onto a good kind of future with Paul Hurst. I'm not going to question his future, but what I'm saying is, like, the squad seem to be reacting well to him as a manager. And although we haven't won in the first month, isn't much to worry about. I mean, we won 5 on the the bounce last season, and were we any better off than any other season? So the real question is, are you going to support the Blues? Are you going to keep behind them and give them all the support you can? Because I am, and I think for the first time in a long time, I'm loving watching the football. And to be honest, we're not winning, so something must be going right behind closed doors, and something must be going well on a pitch, because I haven't seen support like this in a long time. And Sunday absolutely shocked me at times. The amount of the singing. For one thing, the singing. I've never seen the whole stadium get up and sing at the same time in my whole lifetime. So that's something to be optimistic about, and I think we're going in the right direction. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Hull away. I've got my tickets, so a match day vlog is coming up on that one. And until next time, come on you Blues.